Hello everyone, welcome to Shop Psychology Podcast. My name is Yogendra, and in this video I'm going to talk about learning and memory. Yes, learning and memory, two most important entities of our life. Learning and memory are separate entities, and there is no magic line of demarcation between the two processes, my dear friends. And we might think of learning as the process of acquiring new information and memory as the persistence of learning in a state that can be revealed at a later time. It's impossible to produce changes in behavior due to experience without the ability to remember the relevant experience. Learning and memory are best viewed as interconnected and overlapping processes. Now let's talk about types of learning. Alright. The behavior of organism can be separated into three major categories. First, reflexes. Second, fixed action patterns. And third, learned behaviors. So now we are going to talk about reflexes. What are reflexes? Reflexes are inevitable, involuntary responses to stimuli. These behaviors are produced by pre-wired neural connection or reflexes arcs. Reflexes produce rapid, reliable responses, but their inflexibility can be a disadvantage when the environment changes. Now we are going to talk about fixed action patterns, also known as instincts. Species-specific inborn patterns of behavior elicited by specific environmental stimuli or releaser-like reflexes. Fixed patterns of behavior are automatic, unconscious responses to the environment, but their behavioral patterns are complex. Once initiated in response to a releaser, the stereotypical fixed action pattern runs to completion and usually cannot be stopped. The most fixed action patterns involve mating or parenting behavior. In the courtship display of the male peacock, the identification of an appropriate female partner initiates a chain of predictable stereotype behaviors. Yawning in humans and other animals also fits the description of a fixed action patterns. Once you initiate a yawn, it runs to completion. Now we're going to talk about learning or relatively permanent change in behavior. Behavior due to experience provides organism with the most flexible means of responding to the environment. Humans being occupy nearly every niche on the planet, from blazing equatorial environmental to the frigid Arctic. Much of this adaptability stems from the remarkable human capacity for learned behavior. Our definition of learning specifies that only those behavioral changes that result from experience will be considered learned. The specification excludes changes in behavior that occur due to maturation or growth. The requirement that learning be relatively permanent excludes brief of unstable changes in behavior. Fatigue, boredom, illness, or mood all influence behavior, but in a temporary and transitory manner. Exactly how permanent memories really are is open to a debate. Learning occurs in one of two ways. The first, my dear friend, is non-associative learning, including habituation and sensitization, involves changes in the magnitude of response to stimuli rather than the formation of connection between specific elements or events. Associative learning. Associative learning occurs when an organism forms a connection between two features of its environment. Classical conditioning, which allows organism to learn about signals that predict important events, and operant conditioning, in which a behavior's consequences change in its subsequent frequency, fall into this category. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. See you next time.